Matchroom Sports Supremo Barry Hearn has suggested the Hundred's future looks bleak amid word the Glazer family are considering a £650 million investment. That's the total value of the 49% stakes understood to be up for grabs in the competition's 8 teams. It's reported Manchester United's majority owners are weighing up a plan to buy almost half of Lords-based cricket franchise London Spirit, but Hearn wouldn't go anywhere near the deal himself. The reigning emperor of dart, snooker, boxing and other sports is always open to a deal, as long he sees a pathway to take said field forward. But that can't be said for his view of the 100-ball cricket competition, which will enter its 5th season in 2025. "I don't think the 100's got a great future," Hearn told Mirror Sport on the eve of the 2024 Mosconi Cup, which kicks off in Florida on Saturday. "I think it looks a bit too samey for me." The 100 first launched in the summer of 2021, at a time when the world was hungry for new sport in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. And despite receiving an initial positive reception, it appears fans have reverted to the more established formats in recent years. Sportcore reported viewership for the men's competition fell by 28% on Sky this past season, while the number of people tuning into the women's game dropped by 41% on the broadcaster. Some have suggested there are too many versions of limited overs cricket already, not to mention keeping up to speed with every other variation of the sport. The Glazers have taken a back seat in the running of United since Sir Jim Ratcliffe bought an initial minority share in the club. Seemingly keen to dip into another area of British sport, however, they've been warded off investing in cricket following Hearn's previous poor experience. I love cricket, and wanted to get involved years ago, but then I met with the authorities and put my plans together. I was horrified by how little support I got," he continued. "They'd just close the doors if they could get away with it. Now they've got it nice. They've got their expenses, their first-class fares. It's just not the same." The England and Wales Cricket Board copped criticism for its poor planning of the 2024 edition of the 100, which clashed with the Paris Olympics. Former England international Michael Vaughan told The Telegraph he felt the ECB screwed up its scheduling by not moving this year's competition to a different date. Looking at sports opportunities in the UK on a broader scale, Hearn went on to suggest it's perhaps not a good time for investment, and the Glazers may be wise to heed his words, as he suggested excessive red tape and a lack of funding from those in power is to blame. "I'm a commercial promoter. I make money, but also I boost prize monies to a level they've never seen before. That's my job," he said. "That's what I do, but I suddenly get the feeling, both in the government and various bodies, they pay lip service to new enterprise. So it's all very well saying, 'Well done, you've done ever so well. Come have your picture taken at 10 Downing Street.' But that doesn't help the grassroots, and it's all about money. People hate it when I say that, but it's absolutely true. You don't pay people significant money to change their lives. Why should they dedicate their lives to entertaining us at a level that we want to watch? But they don't want to pay them the money that reflects the sacrifices they've made." It's a chilly evening in Manchester, but the excitement is palpable. The iconic Old Trafford Stadium stands tall in the heart of the city, its floodlights beginning to illuminate the surrounding streets. Fans wearing red scarves and jerseys file into the stadium, their voices a blend of anticipation and hope. Tonight, under the bright lights, Manchester United is set to face Norwegian side Bodo Glimt in a crucial European encounter. The journey to this point has been a mixture of highs and lows for United. After a rocky start to the season, the team had begun to find some rhythm, with manager Erik ten Hag implementing his philosophy more clearly in recent weeks. Yet despite signs of improvement, the pressure was still on. A good result in this European fixture would not only boost the morale of the team, but also provide a critical step in securing qualification for the knockout stages of the competition. Manchester United's season had been full of twists. From a disappointing opening stretch in the Premier League to some encouraging performances in Europe, the team had been a work in progress. Injuries to key players like Lisandro Martinez and Bruno Fernandes had further complicated matters, but Ten Hag had remained steadfast in his approach. The squad had shown resilience, bouncing back from some tough defeats with hard-fought victories, but the need for consistency remained. In the Europa League, United had shown flashes of their best form. Victories over lesser teams had been expected, but their first real test came in the form of Bodo Glimt, a side that had stunned many with their European exploits in recent years. The Norwegian side had gained attention for their attacking style and their ability to punch above their weight, making them a serious threat despite their smaller stature. As match day arrived, the focus shifted solely to the upcoming clash. The United squad arrived at Old Trafford, stepping off the bus with determination in their eyes. Their journey had been long, but they were ready for the challenge. A few new faces were on the team sheet, as Ten Hag rotated the squad to keep fresh legs on the pitch. Key players like Marcus Rashford and Casemiro were fit and ready, while younger talents like Alejandro Garnacho had been given a chance to prove themselves in such a high-stakes game. The fans, packed into the stands, created a sea of red, their voices singing the famous chants of Manchester United. The atmosphere was electric. Old Trafford was alive, and the players could feel the weight of the occasion. Inside the locker room, the mood was focused. Erik Ten Hag gathered the team, his calm demeanour masking the intensity of the moment. His instructions were clear. We need to play with control, but also with aggression. Bodo Glimt are a strong team, but we are Manchester United. This is our house. We need to dominate possession and take the game to them. Rashford, Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen exchanged a few words, knowing that this was a game that could make or break their European aspirations. There was an urgency in the air, not just to win, but to impress. The squad had to send a message to Europe. Manchester United was back, and they were hungry for success. As the teams took to the pitch, the noise from the stands reached a crescendo. The match began, and immediately United took control, dominating possession in the opening minutes. The midfield battle was fierce, but United's experience began to show. Eriksen, pulling the strings in the middle, found Rashford on the wing early on, but Bodo Glimt's defence held firm. The visitors, with their compact shape, looked to stifle United's attack while trying to create space on the counter. As the first half wore on, it was clear that Bodo Glimt wasn't here to be intimidated. They were dangerous on the break, with their pacey forwards testing United's backline. David de Gea, as usual, was alert, making a crucial save to deny the Norwegian side's best chance early in the second half. However, the breakthrough came in the 62nd minute. A brilliant piece of interplay between Bruno Fernandes and Rashford sliced through Bodo Glimt's defence. Rashford, with a confident finish, put United 1-0 up. The crowd erupted, their support turning into a wave of noise. But the job wasn't done yet. The Red Devils needed more, and they weren't about to sit back and defend a single goal. With Bodo Glimt dispatched, United's eyes were now firmly fixed on the next challenge. But tonight the players could bask in the glow of a well-earned victory. Ça c'est. Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim will have his first taste of European football at Old Trafford this week, after what may be seen as a disappointing start in the Premier League. The Red Devils drew 1-1 with newly promoted Ipswich Town in the new boss's first game in charge on Sunday afternoon. They will look to go one better when Bodo Glimt visit Old Trafford in the Europa League on Thursday night, 8 p.m. kickoff. So, it's no surprise that United continue to be linked with players. With that in mind, Men Sport have taken a look at a couple of the stories doing the rounds and given our own thoughts on the situation. Manchester United are reportedly interested in a move for Napoli winger 𝐁𝐑𝐄𝐊𝐈𝍍𝐆 ahead of the January transfer window. Sport Mediaset, via Get Italian Football News, report that United are serious about the player, but would need to offer a fee of around €100 million, 83-48 million, to tempt Napoli into selling. Napoli are said to be keen on getting the player tied down to a new contract, with his current one expiring in 2027. However, no agreement has yet been reached, and United are said to be willing to offer a bigger deal to the player. Men Sport says Ruben Amorim is likely to be keen to add his own players to his squad when the January transfer window opens. However, how big of a budget he will have is still to be seen. While 𝐁𝐑𝐄𝐊𝐈𝍍𝐆 is highly rated, the 23-year-old has scored 5 times and provided 2 assists in 13 Serie A appearances this season. It seems unlikely that United will pay the asking price in the January window. It may be a move to keep a closer eye on in the summer window. An update has been given on United's reported interest in Paris Saint-Germain striker Randal Kolo Muani. Reports earlier this month claimed that United had held talks over a potential loan deal for the forward in the January transfer window. However, Sky Sports Germany's Florian Plettenberg claims that there has been no discussions over the player. Instead, the journalist names Eintracht Frankfurt's Omar Marmoush as on a list of potential targets ahead of the January window. Manchester United are considering their options for the January transfer window after deciding that signing a striker is a priority. United have scored just 13 goals in 12 Premier League games so far this season, the joint fourth worst tally in the division. They finished last season with 57 goals and a goal difference of -1, and strikers Marcus Rashford, Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee have struggled for consistency. The new hierarchy hired Ruben Amorim in the hope that the Portuguese boss could get the most out of the expensively assembled but underperforming squad. Erik ten Hag was furnished with £600 million on transfers over his 2.5-year reign as manager, but Amorim has been told to expect much more modest financial backing. However, United's struggles in front of goal have forced the club to look ahead to January, when they could be tempted to bring in more firepower. United have been linked with a move for Sporting superstar Victor Gyökeres ever since Amorim joined the club, but his price tag makes a mid-season transfer unviable. Instead, Sky Germany reports that they are considering 4 other alternatives in case the form of their current forwards doesn't improve. Victor Osimhen, who is on loan from Napoli to Galatasaray, is one of the names on the list, having netted 8 goals in 10 games this season. After being priced out of a permanent move over the summer, he has a £63 million release clause for 2025. Omar Marmoush has caught their attention by scoring 11 goals in as many games for Eintracht Frankfurt. The Egypt international could cost around £50 million after hitting a purple patch. Other options include Paris Saint-Germain's Randal Kolo Muani and Bayer Leverkusen forward Victor Boniface. Kolo Muani has struggled to get into the PSG team this season and would reportedly be available on loan just a year after joining the French Giants for £77 million. Boniface has 8 goals in 15 games for Leverkusen this season and could prove pricey. That is an issue for United, who are under pressure to comply with PSR rules, having posted losses before tax of £312.9 million over the past 3 seasons. Amorim has already admitted he has no chance of luring Gyökeres to United mid-season. "I'm not going to get any players from Sporting in January," he conceded. "Gyökeres costs €100 million and it's very difficult." In a previous press conference while still at Sporting, Amorim added, "This is my city, this is my country, so I'll respect it." Victor has to stay until the end of the season, and then his life will probably go somewhere else. Gyökeres has already addressed the rumours that he might follow his manager to Old Trafford. He said, "Going with Amorim to Man United? I don't know. I'm here. I really like being here. It's not something I think about. I'm enjoying it here. I'm sad about him leaving. We wish him all the best."